again. Welcome back onto our next keynote session now with Yeji Kim, Manager of Solution Consulting, and Terry Goldman, Senior Solution Consultant, both from Workiva. And we are talking unlocking ESG excellence, integrated insights, executive confidence, and secure AI. Huge amount to go through here then. Hello to you both. How are you?
Doing great.
Hello, great.
Yeah, good to see you. Well, the virtual floor is yours, and I'll be back with some questions at the end. Over to you.
Awesome, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here today to discuss how business can unlock ESG excellence through Workiva's powerful platform. As the world accelerates towards sustainability, the pressure on business to adopt responsible practice and report transparently has never been greater. We are all witnessing a shift towards more sustainable operations, but there's one key question that we need to answer. How do we measure, report, and communicate these efforts effectively? Well, the answer for many is through Workiva, a platform that simplifies complex ESG reporting, ensuring data accuracy, enables real-time insights to help businesses stay ahead of the curve. Before we demonstrate how Workiva can answer for ESG excellence, first, we should understand and address does sustainability really matters. I mean, we are all here today, so of course it matters, but what did the executive like yourself say about sustainability? Workiva conducted a global benchmark survey, which concluded that integrated reporting delivered value beyond compliance. As you can see, 91% of organizations, the previous slide, 91% of the organizations are integrating sustainability into their business strategies, expecting increased revenue in 2025. But don't take our word for it. Global consulting firm BDO has also completed their CFO ESG survey, and they do too find out that 80% of expected that their involvement in ESG strategy to either stay the same and increase in next 12 months because they see a value in ESG. So now we understand why. Let's talk about what we should focus for a moment. Next slide. Let's start with climate disclosure, which has become a central pillar of ESG reporting. We've been seeing significant movement in recent years around climate-related reporting frameworks with standards like TCFD. Now, why is this important? Climate-related risks such as physical impacts of climate changes, regulatory shift, and social pressures surrounding sustainability are factors that no business can ignore. And we have heard from the panels today how important the climate-related risks are. Investors, regulators, and customers alike are demanding better climate disclosure from businesses, just like 85% of executives intend to carry on with climate disclosure, as you can see here. This is where Workiva comes in. Workiva helps organizations integrate and align their climate-related disclosure with global frameworks like TCFD. This ensures that businesses are not only reducing risk, but also enhancing transparency, which is key in today's competitive market. By adopting Workiva platform, business can easily track, report, and verify climate-related data, helping them meeting this complex reporting standard without the stress and uncertainty of manual processes, which Terry will walk you through later on. Next, here's an interesting insight. A recent survey of executive-related revealed that businesses with strong sustainability reporting practice are seen as having a significant competitive advantage. And I think this is something that we heard earlier as well. Terry, next slide. Why is that? Well, sustainability is no longer just a nice to have, it is actually a strategic priority. Organizations that excel in sustainability reporting are better equipped to build trust with stakeholders, attract investors, and align with growing regulatory landscape. With Workiva platform, business can achieve robust sustainability reporting that clearly communicates their ESG initiative, from carbon footprint reductions to diversity, inclusions effort. These clarities and consistencies are essential in fostering trust and staying ahead in the marketplace. Not only does this reporting give companies an edge, but it also positions them as a leader in their respective industry, proactively meeting the sustainability demands that consumers, regulators, and investors are prioritizing. Which brings us to another critical point, data accuracy, which investor picked as #1 most important criteria of ESG reporting. Next slide, Terry. But as you can see, sadly, only 23% of them have the confidence in their data accuracy. In the world of ESG, accuracy isn't just important, it's everything. Investors in particular are placing greater emphasis on accuracies and reliability of ESG data when making investment decisions. The financial market is demanding verifiable data, as you can see from the assurance requirement, and businesses that fail to provide reliable ESG metrics are at risk of losing credibility with their investors. They want to know the data you are reporting is accurate, complete, and consistent. Workiva ensures that data accuracy is maintained through the ESG reporting process by automating data aggregations, eliminating manual errors, and providing tools that ensure seamless collaboration across different teams. It allows business to pull data from multiple sources, verify it in real life and real time, and create reports that can be trusted by both internal and external stakeholders. With Workiva, you're not just collecting data, you're ensuring that it is accurate, verified, and ready to be shared with confidence, meeting investors' expectations every time. So now, last but not least, and this is where Gen AI comes in. It's one of the most exciting developments in the ESG space, well, actually everywhere around the world. AI's ability to analyze vast amount of data, uncover trends, and predict future outcome is helping business to make more informed and data-backed ESG decisions. And we heard from all the panelists and Firechat early on the importance of AI and how that is utilized in the ESG landscape. Workiva is already integrating generative AI to streamline ESG data processing, automate reporting, and uncover insights that might have been not easily identified. Imagine having AI tools that not only automate routine tasks, but also provide predictable insights into how your sustainability efforts are performing. This technology is truly transforming the way business approach ESG. It's not just about complying to ESG regulations and preparing a report. It is about using AI to drive smarter decisions and strategies that will shape the future of sustainability in a way we've never seen before. So now that we have covered why it matters and what, Terry will walk you through how Workiva unlocked the ESG excellence for you. Terry, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, Yeji. So good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure today to spend time with you in the next couple of minutes to really demonstrate to you how Workiva can effectively help your organization measure, report, and communicate your ESG initiative across all of your key stakeholders as well as throughout the enterprise. Workiva is the leading ESG platform that helps organizations simplify the ESG reporting process. We ensure, as Yeji was saying earlier, data accuracy that enables real-time insights into your data that helps you stay ahead of the curve. So what I'd like to first start off with is really demonstrating to you using our emissions capability within the Workiva platform, which we affectionately call Workiva Carbon, will allow you to, at a very high level, to be able to see at a glance exactly how your organization is actually capturing the key emissions categories throughout the entire year, not only from the category level, but also at the spend level.
Terry, before you continue, could you help to expand your screen because we could actually see it's actually smaller size of it.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Certainly. Thank you so much. So as we go through here, what we can demonstrate to you at a high level is our ability to also categorize based upon scopes. So here we're showing scope 1, 2, and 3, and really how is the organization actually capturing and aggregating this information all the way up at a glance. Let's just go down even further. We can see additional details around the particular categories that we are actually tracking as an organization. Now, as we go through today's demonstration, I do want you to take note of this important data point that we're capturing here with around scope 1. And as we do so, I want to demonstrate to you actually how we can capture that. Now, we know today organizations are really looking for ESG to maintain that competitive advantage. And in order to do that, organizations need to really understand how are we tracking against those key targets that we have. So within Workiva Carbon, we have the ability to actually set, various types of targets that we can measure against. So here I've just toggled over into our capability, and I'm actually able to see at a glance, really how are we tracking against our key initiative here that we've set up here. And again, you can set up multiple targets as you go through. So here we're actually seeing, based upon the current data we have within Workiva Carbon, exactly how are we actually tracking. If we continue to do business as usual, we can see exactly where we're going to end up by 2030. But if we actually maintain our decarbonization efforts, we should ideally be able to hit our targets in 2030. And again, this is going to be updated as we collect new and exciting information. So to that point, as we actually look at these particular targets, it's important to note really we're only as good as the data. And certainly, as Peter Drucker has said in the past, if we can't measure it, we can't improve it. And to that point, Workiva is, Carbon is optimized to help organizations actually track and enter in that emissions data. We really take an intuitive approach of really how we collect that data here within the platform. Looking at your key asset types within the organization, we break that down based upon buildings, vehicles, peoples, and these other categories here as well. As I click into this area here, you're allowed to invite your data providers into the platform where they can provide either a single data point, upload a configured template with the filled in data, or whenever possible, based upon the location, actually integrate into popular energy providers, where we can bring in that information seamlessly. So here, what I'll do now is I'll just bring in a particular data point. Now, the way that we like to emphasize our structure here is we like to think about it in terms of location. So as a data provider, I will come in here as I'm being invited into the platform, be able to select the particular location I'm at, the year, and then I can easily enter in the information based upon what I have here for the particular period. And you can see right away, we're able to capture that information. And the value of the platform is that we maintain all of these particular, intricate databases behind the scenes based upon location that allows us to easily calculate that emission factor here at this particular location and at this particular time, making it really easy and intuitive to capture that data. Now, the second major challenge that we'd like to help organizations really master is certainly around how to manage all of those different disclosures that they're dealing with as they're actually building out their ESG initiative. And to support organizations in doing that, within the Workiva ESG platform, we have the ESG program. Think of the ESG program as really that central source of control that allows you to easily structure your ESG initiative. So here I'm just simply expanding out those key primary topics that we're focusing in on. And as I drill down further into these subtopics here that you can easily organize as well, we will ultimately get down to a metric. Now, the power of the ESG program is to be able to take our high-level ESG standards and our standards and requirements and actually map those down to requirements and metrics to provide that full traceability. So here I have a number of key frameworks that you're all familiar with that we can actually demonstrate that we're linking to. And on the right-hand side, when we click on a particular framework, we get detailed information about that particular framework. In addition to that, we also have the ability to actually notify you when there are new and exciting changes, because we work very closely with our global standards bodies, and we get knowledge from them in terms of when there are updates. And we'll make that available to you here within the platform so that you can easily come in and make an informed decision as to how you want to handle that change. Second major area, which I think is extremely valuable and a capability of the Workiva platform, is to be able to link your metrics to those local and regulatory standards that you may be tracking against. So here you have the ability to create curated list of tags that you can also associate to your metrics. Now, this is very powerful in terms of helping you to identify gaps as well as compliance of those key metrics that you're tracking against to those regulatory requirements. And certainly as we begin to operationalize the gathering of those metrics, we can actually send out notifications to our data providers to come into the platform and provide that information. So as you see right here, here again is that 100.22 value that we've asked for our data provider to provide that data point within the Workiva Carbon platform, and we've surfaced that here within the Workiva solution. Now, the third major area that Yeji really touched upon was really the truth in data. And we know that organizations struggle again with the huge volume and velocity of that data that's coming into their ESG initiative. And certainly within the Workiva platform, we put a high level of value around being able to collect that in a consistent manner, but also provide you that full traceability and auditability of that data. We bring this data into what we call our secure data repository called ESG Factbook. And it is really a collection of spreadsheets that are within Workiva that allows us to not only capture those key metrics, but also to organize those metrics in such a way that we can do additional calculations. So what I'm actually showing you here is a particular metric, again, that we've been working on, which is the Scope 1 consolidated carbon dioxide. And again, we've captured that data point from carbon, and we've surfaced that here as well. Now, you also may notice that there's this little red triangle, which tells me that we, in fact, have an update here to this particular data point. And because we're working within an environment that is SaaS-based, we're able to maintain all of that version history of this particular data from its inception within the platform. We can see exactly when was the last time we did an update, who's responsible for running the automation behind the scenes to collect that information and to actually surface that here within the ESG Factbook that we're working on. And this is going to be incredibly important to our auditors as they come through and they're actually looking at our sustainability report and they want to be able to trace that information all the way back to the source. And that really leads us here to our fourth major capability that we think is so important to really provide that incredible advantage to report generation for ESG. And that's our patented technology that allows us to take these data points within the ESG Factbook and actually link these to where we're using those within our various reports and presentations and perhaps other spreadsheets within the Workiva platform. So this ability allows you to easily create these linkages from the data to actually where they're being used in the various reports. So I know in just at a glance here that this value here that we've been tracking against, that we recently got an update to, is actually being used in various locations within our reporting package. And I know here that I've got about, I just click on this button here, I can see that I've got 16 updates. Pretty light day by normal circumstances, but we certainly work with customers where when they actually do a refresh of their data on a daily basis, they're dealing with hundreds of different data points that have changed throughout their reporting package. And this is really where Workiva can help organizations really optimize this process. It's very common for us to come in and work with the customers and demonstrate to them that we can really accelerate their time to update their reporting package based upon these changing data points. And this data here is actually being used in a variety of different document types within the Workiva platform. So just like Yeji and I were demonstrating earlier and presenting to you, we were presenting slides that were actually within the Workiva platform. And in this particular case, I've actually got this same data point, 100, that came from Workiva Carbon originally. And it's actually being used to populate an internal presentation that we may be sending to our sustainability team to actually being able to update them. You'll also notice here that there's other text here that also has these green underlines. This is also linked text that is not only going back to our ESG Factbook, but perhaps to other workbooks within Workiva that allows us to actually update these narratives as well. And ultimately, we want to be able to leverage this capability to provide insightful, impactful sustainability reports. And so certainly within the Workiva platform, we have the ability to create vibrant-looking sustainability reports that allow you to work collaboratively across your organization. So here again, I'm looking at a particular section of my sustainability report. I'm able to work collaboratively with my colleague Yeji, and we're working collectively together to actually prepare this sustainability report for final release. And as we do so, we can actually maintain and communicate status across the team. We can also invite other team members into this particular sustainability report, and they have the full ability to, again, based upon their particular role. So for doing like assurance, that they can actually come in and actually trace a particular data point all the way back to its source. In addition to that, not only do we allow that linkage to tables, but also to charts, as well as the narratives within your sustainability reports and other documents as well. Now, lastly, as we close up, we definitely want to highlight, our incredible efforts to really help organizations really take advantage of Gen AI. I think every one of us on the call today are really super excited about the prospects of really Gen AI and how it's going to help us in terms of getting that competitive advantage. We at Workiva have been working very hard to really implement what we consider to be the best approach for Gen AI. And to that point, we want to make sure that when we introduce Gen AI to the platform, not only does it allow you to write incredibly insightful narratives, but we also want to make sure that the information that you put in is completely private to you. And in doing so, everything that you enter into Gen AI, so if I actually select this particular narrative here, I can ask the Gen AI to actually elaborate on this particular narrative. As it's doing so, this is completely private to my conversation that I'm having with Gen AI. It's analyzing that particular narrative here, and it's going to make a recommendation in terms of elaborating. So with just a few swipes of the mouse and asking Gen AI to elaborate on this, I can get a really impactful and insightful narrative that I can easily copy and paste into this particular section. That's not only the only capability with our Gen AI. We also want to be able to start to improve actually how we can provide comparative analysis for our customers. And as you see here, as we go in, we've also provided the capability of what we call a prompt library. Think of a prompt library as a curated set of pre-configured prompts that you can easily leverage today. These are developed here by our subject matter experts within Workiva based upon their industry experience, and we will consistently add more and more prompts to this particular library. What I'm particularly proud of is our ability to actually compare our particular ESG sustainability report perhaps against another sustainability report that I found. So I'm going to go ahead and use this prompt. By doing so, it's already going to set the context here. And what I'm going to do in this particular case is I'm going to actually take my IFRS sustainability report and I'm going to compare it against a sustainability report that I found on the web and I brought into the platform. And as I'm doing that, it's actually analyzing this. And I expect to see some key differences in some areas of improvement that I can leverage from this other sustainability report and seeing actually how can I incorporate that in. I can continue to refine the suggestion, but I can see right away that there's particular areas of this other sustainability report that they do very well, such as around waste management, air emissions, water management, that I may want to look at actually how have they structured that, how they've constructed their narratives together, and how I can use that to actually improve my particular sustainability report as I go forward. Now, I know we covered a lot of ground today, and it's important that we have in the last few minutes make sure that everybody has a clear understanding of really the value proposition of what Workiva has to offer to you. So what I'll do now is I'll just go to our final slide here, just some key takeaways that we want to leave you with. First and foremost, we understand talking to our customers that climate disclosure is becoming non-negotiable. It's incredibly important, especially with all of these new and changes that are being made to these global standards and frameworks, that we help you to provide easy access, be able to link that directly to key metrics that you want to track against. We also understand the sustainability reporting isn't just for compliance purposes. Now organizations are really looking at sustainability as a competitive advantage to help build that trust with stakeholders. And in order to ensure that trust, we must have a platform that ensures data accuracy. This is paramount, especially when it comes to attracting investors and maintaining credibility. And certainly as we iterate going forward, we're going to see a significant effort to leverage Gen AI that's really there to help the organization make smarter, more informed decisions that are ultimately going to help propel you to your ESG efforts going forward. Now, I know we've covered a lot today in today's presentation. We definitely want to make sure that you all understand that what we've demonstrated today is just a small sampling of the pure capability of the platform. Whether you're looking to streamline your ESG reporting, improve your data accuracy, or leverage cutting-edge Gen AI tools, Workiva is the platform for your journey for ESG excellence. We look forward to an opportunity to work with you more closely to really understand how the Workiva Sustainability Management Suite that we've demonstrated today can really deliver that value to you, to help you really transform your strategy into a position of leadership that we very much want to help you with. Again, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure for both Yuji and I to spend time with you today to give you an overview of the Workiva platform. At this point, I'd be happy to turn it back over to the moderator and answer any questions you may have.
So much. Thank you very much indeed. As you say, you've covered a huge amount in 20 minutes or so. We're right up on time. So I've got one key question for you, and that is on data, because data, of course, powers the whole platform and the whole solution, allows you to get those results. A very brief question on advice, really. Advice to people about getting data into a platform such as this. How do you make sure you've got the best quality and the cleanest data you can going into this kind of solution? Just in 60 seconds or so, between your thoughts, how do you get the most from that data?
Why don't you go ahead, Yuji, and I'll follow up after you.
Yeah, so I think, well, simply putting, we call it rubbish in, rubbish out, Neil, right? So we want to ensure that whatever that goes into the systems like ourselves is already cleaned and accurate. And in order for you to do that, you already have to have an understanding of what needs to go in and why you're putting those data into the particular platform and what is the output that you're looking for. So instead of just trying to put everything into the platform and hoping that the platform or solution actually resolve it, you need to have a clear strategies and understanding in mind. What is the data that you need and what is the purpose of asking for data and what is this data you want it to utilize for? So I think that's very important when you're doing the data journeys as well as sustainability reporting journey as well.
I would just add that also, another great, value to actually enhance the value of that data is to get as many eyeballs on that data as possible. And that's really where the Workiva platform really shines in terms of allowing as many users as you have within your organization to come in and have a collective discussion about the quality of the data. How do we actually want to use that data? Because ultimately data is just static in its nature. We really want to turn that into a competitive advantage. And we do that by either, placing that data into key narratives and putting descriptions around that. And hopefully that we've demonstrated to you today that, working with your teams, we can actually alleviate all of that mundane tasks in terms of copying and pasting and allow you to focus more around that value-added work that's going to help produce that quality data.
Absolutely, and that is definitely a theme that's come from the show today about turning sustainability into a competitive advantage, and you've demonstrated that beautifully today. Terry, Yuji, thank you so much for joining us here at Sustainability Live Singapore. Really enjoyed your company.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you so much indeed.